Hey, what's up, YouTube? What's up, YouTube? Give me 1 second. I'm trying to go live on in our Facebook group. So we live on. Oh, never mind. It's just gonna be over here on YouTube and with the Blamily. So I'm here live and in living color. Another email is about to go out, just inviting more folks into the room. So YouTube, what's up, good peoples? Welcome. Blamily, y'all in the house. Welcome. My name is Ayize, my aunt, for those who don't know, over here on YouTube. Tonight, I'm gonna be talking about something that it's gonna be real. Uh, everything good? Uh, everything that yeah, we all flustered over here. So we're gonna be talking about something spicy. This is not the way, not the pathway to increased intimacy during your bedroom in terms of just being all over the place. But with that being said, you may see some hand. You got your hand all up in the screen. hmm Um, so yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get right into it. So this is important. This is important. The first thing that I want to say is that when it comes to doing this work, my wife and I, for those who don't know, on YouTube, we've been doing it for a minute. We've been together for 28 years, married for 21, coming up on 22 in May. So we got years of experience in this space, years of experience when it comes to sex and intimacy in our relationship, but also years of experience helping other folks improve the quality of their intimacy and their relationship as well. So we're not new to this, we're true to this. And I lift that up because this right here is an important piece, y'all, an important piece in order for you to have a lasting, loving, connecting relationship. Like there's so many people that struggle in this area. And one of the things that we say is that, if your connection is not on point, and you may be finding yourself in a space where um, you want to outs in your relationship. And so, a lot of people have functional relationships, and that's one thing. But what we aspire to help people do is to go beyond a functional relationship and really restore, strengthen, and build up the connection. And so, when it comes to tonight, one of the ways in which you can definitely enhance the connection in your relationship is by increasing the pleasure in the bedroom, by increasing the pleasure in the bedroom. And so, what's up? I see y'all coming. And so again, I'm gonna give you all 5 things, 5 pathways, and I'm gonna share a few more that I know personally work, and that others have expressed work as well too. And why is this important? This is extremely important again because when you can have that fire, not just flickering, but flaming for real, then it makes life, in many respects, a lot easier. It makes it easier to do certain things. You want to connect in with your partner. You want to have conversations, which I'll talk about in terms of like there's a disconnect in a relationship, but a lot of times the reason why there's a disconnect in terms of communicating with your partner is because that connection is not popping, and so this intimacy piece is so critical. And so when it comes to 5 pathways to you actually increasing intimacy and pleasure in the bedroom, I'm gonna run through a list and let me know what your thoughts are. We also got the Grammarly in the house. These are members of our Blam Core individual and group coaching community. They may come forward, they may raise their hands, and they may want to share. Y'all actually don't even have to worry about showing yourselves the Blamely because it's not being streamed to Facebook. It's just over here on YouTube right now. So they might be able to hear your voice. I think they will be able to hear it if you do speak up. I'm going to say something about the things that I'm lifting up. But before I get into these 5 things, y'all, there's something that's really important. Tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, we got the virtual love experience. You need to make sure you are in the house. Some of the things that I'm talking about tonight will actually be done tomorrow. So if you're struggling with intimacy and connection and being booed up and having quality conversations in your relationship, the virtual love experience is where you want to be. And that link to join that for those folks that are on YouTube is blamexperience.com. Blamexperience.com. All right, make sure you go there, register. It's going to be an intimacy field excursion. It's going to be a curated experience where we're going to guide you through some activities to help you improve your relationship, just the connection in your relationship. So it's going to be dope, y'all. blamexperience.com. So, all right, you can attend solo. You can attend solo. You can be you're gonna learn. You're gonna be an observer, but yeah, definitely come on through. We've had folks attend solo in the past, and you can take some of the things that you actually learn from tomorrow night back into your relationship. And we're not the folks that just gonna tell you what to do. We actually do the things that that we do that we're having folks do during the curated experience. And so Gina said the sound is very important. Now, Gina, you got access to come on over to Zoom. So you're part of the Blamley, Blam for Life. So come on over to Zoom if the sound is very poor. I'm not sure if that's with everybody else.
That's
Um,
with
yeah, but yeah, come on over to come on over to Blam University. Not Blame University. Come on over to the Zoom league. Iana should be dropping it in just a minute. All right, back to the Blamley. So peep this, y'all. So when it comes to you increasing and improving the quality of connection and the pathway to just a heightened level of intimacy in your relationship, one of the things that I'm going to lift up that you can do, y'all, one of the things that I know is important, and we're going to start here. We're going to start here for a reason. We're going to start here for a reason. The reason, not the reason, one thing you can do is really focus on the mind body connection. Focus on the mind body connection. And so what do I mean by that? Like if you ever heard the song before, Mind Sex by Dead Prez, fundamentally what that's speaking about is that in order for you to get to a heightened level of intimacy and to get things moist and lubricated and ready for reception, but also ready for deliverance, it's important that you connect in up here first. Too many people think that the pathway to the P is by going straight for the P. And truth be told, like my wife, she's actually expressed to me on a number of occasions. She said, "Woo me, bro, woo me." And so it's connecting with me in a different way, mentally and emotionally, before you attempt to connect in with me physically. And so when it comes to your man or when it comes to your woman, one pathway to more pleasure in the bedroom is making sure that that mind body connection is in sync, making sure that it's intact, and making sure you're not neglecting the importance of the mental stimulation. The mental stimulation can actually whet the appetite and tease out desires and have somebody craving and wanting you even more because there's this vivid imagery that might be involved, which leads you to again yearn and desire in a heightened way. You can do this through the process of mindfulness, mindful touch, meditation. Some folks engage in yoga, tantra yoga to deepen your connection with yourself, but also with your partner. These are ways to enhance pleasure in the bedroom. So again, start with the mind. Start with the mind and the heart. Having that mind sex and increasing the emotional connection is definitely a pathway to heightened pleasure in the bedroom. And so a lot of us know that, but a lot of us will and real talk at different points in time, I've been guilty of. And so, I'm just encouraging you to get back to or at least embrace, recognize, and understand that this is important. A lot of times we as men, think that again, and it's not all men think this way, but based off of socialization, indoctrination, we have this tendency to think that our woman or a lot of women are open, willing, ready, and perform like some of the women that we see out here on social media and popular media, whatever it may be. And that's just not the case. And so it's not a situation in which like I'm open, available, I'm ready at the drop of a dime. Now some women are. And if you are, then that's you. But a lot of women aren't. So we as women have to really develop the appreciation for the fact that like if you can stimulate the mind and tap into the emotions, then that right there can be, a surefire, just a not even a secure way to heighten intimacy, but it kinda like it just opens the door. It opens the door where she'll welcome you in more ways than one. And so if you wanna be welcomed in, if you wanna be invited in, sometimes we try to storm it. And again, even with that, some women want that, but a lot of women don't. They wanna welcome you. And a part of them welcoming you in is based off of your presentation, how you show up, and how connected they feel with you. And so we got to level up in that respect, y'all. So again, one pathway to more pleasure in the bedroom is that whole mind-body connection. And even with that whole mind-body connection, let's be clear, y'all. The mind-body connection is not just one where it's about mind sex, but the mind-body connection is about how you relate to yourself as well. What is your mind-body connection? How attuned to what you like and what you don't like? Where are you at with that? And again, like, you have to expand and increase your comfort with, self-exploration in order to determine, what the boundaries are, what the limits are, how much flexibility you have when it comes to this, but again, that's you getting in touch with self. You gotta get in touch with yourself, and so again, through meditation, tantra yoga, mindfulness, whatever it may be, like, it's different pathways to cultivate that whole mind body connection. But it's an important piece in order for you to better understand self, but also to increase the connection, pleasure in your relationship. All right, so that's number one, y'all. That's number one. Number two, and I'm gonna go right to it. Oral sex. Oral sex. Um, we posted earlier today a video that my wife did. Some actually it was a I think it was a live stream, a relationship Thursday that we did some time ago, and the topic of discussion was oral sex, oral pleasure. And there was some pushback, some resistance, a different perspective and point of view that was lifted up by one of the viewers. And I definitely appreciate all perspectives, all angles. And I'm gonna respect the fact that you got a voice and what you expressed is you got a right to you got a voice. And so I want to honor that. I want to create a safe space for that. I'm lifting up oral sex though, y'all, because if you've ever experienced it, if you've ever done it, then you know that it can be a pathway to pleasure. If I'm lying, tell me I'm lying. If I'm lying, tell me I'm lying. If it's facts, if it's truth, type facts or truth in the comments. So I'm speaking about the experience of giving, but I'm also speaking about the experience of receiving. And so again, earlier today, one of the things that was lifted up was that we're not animals, and we're not meant to engage orally because that's where we dispel toxins. We get rid of the toxins that are inside of our body through the the anus and through the vagina and through the penis and we ain't supposed to be putting our mouths in those places, et cetera, et cetera. I get it. And I definitely understand the perspective. And I appreciate that perspective being lifted up. The thing that I know that I know that I know is that, and I see comments coming through, if you've ever experienced it, and if you had the opportunity to experience an orgasm as a result of it, it can lead to increased pleasure, heightened intimacy, and a greater connection in your relationship. It definitely can. And I think that, a lot of times what happens is to deny ourselves of that experience, um, to not engage, to resist, to reject, um, to dismiss and to basically, in many respects, sometimes people demonize it and say that it's like of the devil. And that's what we attempt to disrupt in our community. The idea that the fullness of who you are sexually, because people carry shame, people carry guilt, people walk around with, again, different stigmas and ideas and beliefs that they're dirty, that they're a hoe when they're engaging in oral sex with their partner. And we trying to disrupt that, y'all. If you're in a and I wanna qualify this too. If you're in a healthy relationship and you all are governed by principles that are leading you to a place, where we're speaking about increased connection, a deeper level of intimacy, more vulnerability, you being yourself, you being able to see yourself and move in a relationship in a transparent way, you living authentically, and again, you unveiling and unpacking who you are as a person, not just for you, but for the betterment of the relationship, and even outside of the relationship, for the family, and then for the community. Like we're building, and in that experience, if you choose to explore your partner in that type of intimate way through oral sex, and you're feeling guilt as a result of it based off of your religious upbringing or whatever socialization you may have experienced, then I think that it's important to ask yourself why and really unpack, uh, that whole experience, and then also look at the opportunity that could be present if you choose to engage. We're not necessarily telling you to do it, and we're not telling you not to do it. But what I am telling you is that it is a pathway to more pleasure in the bedroom. It's a pathway. And it's not just based off of what I say. So many other people will testify to the same thing. It is a pathway to more pleasure in the bedroom. You can choose the pathway or not. It's up to you. But it is a pathway. The man said, now that lies the devil. They just said agree. And that's just facts, y'all. So again, point number two was oral sex, y'all. Oral sex is a pathway to pleasure in the bedroom. And it's again, I don't want to tell you what to do or what not to do, but Kimberly said until he gets knocked out. It's real, y'all. It's definitely real. And so again, I appreciate and I respect the other perspective with reference to um, you know, folks who say that those particular body parts are just for the release of toxins, not just for the release of toxins, but your mouth shouldn't be in those places. I get it and I understand it. And at the same time too, you know, I know that pleasure is experienced by performing and by also receiving. One of the things that I used to ask my wife was like, why can't you love it as much as I do, as much as I enjoy the experience, like why can't you? And I'm talking about not the perception. 'Cause she like 10 out of 10, like 20 out of like she's all for like I'll receive all day long. But I was like, but so I enjoy receiving. I thoroughly enjoy receiving, but I also enjoy giving, and I thoroughly enjoy it. And so I asked my wife, like, why can't you be like me? I'm judging y'all. Like, why can't you be a little more like me? And so not to get too graphic and stuff, but the anatomy is different, and so you have to exercise different jaw muscles in different ways, and she was like, "It's uncomfortable. It just don't feel as good. Like, it hurts. It's uncomfortable." And so I understand that piece too, but I'm also appreciative of her willingness to show up in that way. It's a blessing. And so for those folks that are like, you know Yeah, it's I'm not doing that. Um, it's a blessing to give and to receive, and you're blessing your man when you give. Real talk, you really, um, you really are. So yeah, so that's point number two. The whole piece around oral sex, y'all. Oral sex. You can also give in other ways. Thank you, Gina. You definitely can. I appreciate you looking that up, sis. And so another way, y'all. This right here is a good. I mean, all of them are good, but and we're going to be getting into this tomorrow night, y'all. So if y'all have not gone to blamexperience.com, go to blamexperience.com. We have the virtual love experience is going down tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern. What I'm talking about, y'all, we're gonna be doing. I mean, not everything I'm talking about, of course. We're gonna be setting the stage for y'all to do what y'all do later on. So but we're gonna be connecting tomorrow night. Like it's a curated experience to increase the intimacy and connection in your relationship. And so go to I'm putting it in the chat right now. And for those Blamley members who are on YouTube, y'all can get access via Blam University. Um, all right. So I'm looking at the comments. All right. So number three, y'all. Number three, and this we definitely will do tomorrow. Sensory deprivation. Sensory deprivation. Experiment with blindfolds. Anybody done that before? Like, you blindfold your man, you blindfold your woman. Like, this is a pathway to increase pleasure in the bed. Put a blindfold on them. Sometimes people sleep with the eye mask and stuff. Whatever it may be. It could be a head wrap, whatever. But put something around their eyes. That's one way. Kimberly said yes. In addition to that, you could also put in earplugs too. When you put in earplugs, you're like listening to your heartbeat. And what this does is it heightens the sensitivity and arousal. Blindfold, earplugs, or so we say earplugs is one way, but if you have loud music, it can also disorient you too, and maybe even lead you to be more present with what it is that you're experiencing. We want to help you to get like fully engaged in space, fully engaged in space. And so when you again deprive yourself of the ability to see, the ability to hear, and a lot of times what happens is that like the ability to hear and see leads to, in some respects, differentiation. And through the act of intimacy, we're trying to bring about oneness. And so there becomes a blending when you remove some of the senses. Because you can't identify it as this or that. It's all one. Russell said, make sure you lock the door before you put on that blindfold. Yeah, please do, y'all. Lock the door. You don't want no kids bobbing up in there. Lock the door. That's number three, y'all. Sensory deprivation. Number four, we mentioned this before, but mutual masturbation is a pathway to pleasure in the bed. So I believe, Gina mentioned you could provide pleasure in different ways. It ain't gotta necessarily be a woman. And so if you do mutual masturbation and you experience each other in that way, then that right there can lead to increased pleasure as well. It can. Like, you so many different ways of that. You said, OMG, I'm so shy. But just think about it though, y'all. He's on one side of the bed. You're on the other side of the bed. Y'all are looking at each other and y'all are being turned on by the idea and the experience of being turned on. I mean, you can really go places and have moments of intense connection, um, without even touching each other. It's just the thoughts, the imagination, the idea, the vulnerability, and the nakedness that you're experiencing in that space. You know, and when I say vulnerability and openness and nakedness that you experience in that space, I mean, like what I'm speaking about is the idea that he or she is seeing you in it's like a private moment that you're having public. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, this is something that you may do in your own quiet, separate, private space. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know, but now y'all are in front of each other doing your thing. And so you get turned on by the mutual masturbation. Y'all can tell each other stories and all of that type of stuff. Yeah, yeah. They paint vivid pictures over here in the Blamley. Like that's what I'm talking about. They giving each other like, you know, the game and stuff around like, you know, what can be, what is being. Um, some folks getting it in during spring break. That's what I'm talking about. So yeah, so number three was mutual masturbation. Number four, let's go ahead and rock with what I'm seeing over here in the Blamley. Like the whole piece around role play, dressing up a certain way. Um, you know, putting on an outfit. Some of y'all, I mean, putting on hair, like, I don't know. You know what? Let me and I don't know if the women over here in the Blamley gonna like rock with this, but this right here, y'all, what I'm about to say is not we haven't done this. So let me just say that. However, this is what I'm speaking about when it comes to to freedom and pathways to pleasure in the bedroom. This is gonna sound really weird. So let's say so my wife, she used to have like some really long locks, right? It was going down the middle of her back. I don't know how this would happen, but what if in a situation like, you know, she's rocking the locks, Afrocentric, and y'all might feel like this is a sellout situation right here, but what if she like put on a blonde wig and transformed into a different person? Like I said, we've never done that, but you know, different people come with different desires and you know, move in different ways. And I guess what I'm just like, and it ain't even gotta be a blonde wig, it could be some other type of wig, some type of it's like it's just stretching you outside of your comfort zone to where it's like, oh, this is different. This is a different thing. Like sometimes you don't know. Russell said you'll be arrested as a black man. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh man. Spencer said handcuffs. Uh-huh. Yeah, but you know, I'm just saying, like, yo, role playing. You know, y'all go out to a bar, to a club, and y'all be on opposite sides of the room, and you dressed a certain way, she dressed a certain way, and you know, y'all end up connecting, and you like you have a one night stand with your wife, with your husband. I mean, that's how I'm saying it. It sounds kind of weird, but you know, it's yeah, switch it up. I actually said switch it up a bit. Stop being routine. Tired of missionary. I want something different. Spencer said, create an alter ego. Ricky said, I'm a nurse and people love nurses. Yes. That nurse outfit, rocking. This is officer. Wee, wee, wee. All of that, y'all. Yeah. So I mean, role play. Role play, try outfits, try hair, try wigs, try hats, try sunglasses, try whatever it may be. We got these afros here in the house. I ain't tried that yet. I think I'm gonna try that. Try it out. I mean, just have fun. Like it's a safe space for you to be able to explore. Like y'all in a committed relationship, and like I said, it's a safe space. Just explore, try new things, and sometimes I mean, you don't know what you don't know, y'all. Like you don't know what you. Sometimes you don't know what you don't like until you try it. Sometimes you don't know what you do like until you try it. So all I'm saying is that, like, just open up your mind and try it. We role play when we go out on a date. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, yeah. So have fun. So role play. That was number 4, I believe. Um, number 5. There's so many more that I can give, but excuse me. Number 5. I like this one too. Temperature play. Temperature play. Experiment with hot and cold sensations. Anybody try this? Using ice, warm oils, or temperature controlled toys to enhance arousal. Y'all know about that? Ice. Ice, ice, baby. Using ice, warm oils, or temperature controlled toys to enhance arousal. Ice and candle wax dripping. Mhm. Yeah, ice mints, candle wax that turns into body oil. Yeah, we got some advanced folks in the room, y'all. Mints for oils. We got some advanced folks. Hmm. Yeah, it's important to diversify. I mean, don't nobody want the same old same old. I said a second ago that missionary is it's cool. I mean, it's a pathway. In real talk, let me pause for a second. So I don't want to minimize or minimize the value of missionary because how you do missionary makes a difference. Trust me, it does. How you do it. Sometimes when you think about the missionary position, like the idea is that it's mechanical, it's rote, it's predictable. Nah, bro. Nah, sis. It ain't gotta be that way. You have cadence, you have rhythm, you can have variety in missionary. You really can. And the passion can be so palpable that, it's powerful and it's explosive. So don't discount that. Like, so when I say missionary, like I was kind of like minimizing that thing, but not it, depending upon it's not the what, it's the how. It's not the what, it's the how. Missionary with the right dirty talk, eye contact, breath work. What? Hey, Blamley, that's on YouTube. They saying and on son, they said this chat is everything. Y'all better come on over here. um, this chat is everything. Yes. Yo, that was powerful right there. That whole breath work, eye contact, and dirty talk. I love when we had these conversations because in many respects, like it's liberating to even talk about this. It's a safe space. Ain't nobody trying to get nobody. We being grown folks. We being adults. And what's gonna happen is that like after this, it might even spark something that you can experience tonight. That's what's gonna be going down tomorrow, y'all. The virtual love experience. We're gonna be doing some talking but it's gonna be a lot of touching. And so I'm inviting y'all to come out for the blamexperience.com. For those of y'all who are on YouTube and that are part of the Blam, go to blamexperience.com. All right, another one that I want to lift up, y'all. Let's see. I mean, I don't know if I would really. I mean, this is a pathway, but it's not for me. And so, but I'm still gonna say it because it may be for somebody else. Um, erotic literature. Erotic literature. There's back in the day when I used to work at a bookstore, like Zane was very popular. Anybody read any of Zane's book? I mean, Zane was real popular. So I'm seeing the yeses in the chat. And so erotic literature, is a pathway. I just don't know whether or not people have the patience. So I'm seeing some of the blandly talking about them. And I'm gonna stop saying y'all names too, because people on YouTube to know who you are. But, some people are saying I love it. It's so yeah. So Kimberly is saying on YouTube, like, listening to one the other morning. So yeah, so you can read it, you can listen to it. To me, so many apps available to listen to erotica. Lit. All right. Well, let me pull back on that. Spotify, they dropping the apps. This Dipsy podcast. So because this was dropped. So I also all right, so I see something that's being dropped right now. I was actually gonna lift that up. I was on classified all in the category of like media. So we have we have erotic literature, but we also have erotica. And then you have porn. And so Vicky said, I need those podcasts. Um, you can and a lot of these can be used to enhance desire, to spark conversations about what the interest may be, and it can lead to an increased connection in your relationship. Like it can lead to it's a pathway to pleasure. So for some folks though, like when they engage in these things, they feel dirty. They feel like I'm doing something wrong. And like it's a bad thing. And so I don't want to categorically say Netflix movie, Netflix movie 365, thank me later. Okay. You took that Netflix movie 365, thank me later. Um check that. But yeah, so a lot of times feel so one person saying but he right. So there's a differentiation. And so I wonder if it's a woman thing, it's a man thing. You can actually have also female friendly porn too. But erotica may be more about slow build up and the emotional connection and the tease and it's not maybe as vivid um, as just straight up porn. But women may gravitate more so towards that. But then you also have women that gravitate towards porn, but then you also have people that say like, I don't want to consume any of that because and then real talk, y'all. Let me just say this: that some people should. You know yourself. You know your proclivities. You know what it may possibly lead to. And so, with that being said, like it's not for everybody. Let's be let's I mean, I really want to be clear about that. That not everybody can be disciplined um, and govern themselves accordingly. Sometimes grow into something else, be an addiction or you philandering, whatever it may be. But you know, it can enter into an unhealthy space, and I don't want you to be there. Like you said, been married 28 years and got to keep the spark. I definitely feel that. but I did just want to say that though. Oh, I like the idea. Make your own. Cast it on the TV, but make sure that bedroom door is locked. And if you cast it on the TV, you might want to put some earbuds in too. So I don't need to hear mommy and daddy doing the do. Cast it. Oh, cast it live. Okay. We got some fans and all of that. um, I like a storyline with explicit sexual content. Wow. So it's levels. It's definitely levels, y'all. And I just want to encourage you to find where you are and no judgment where you are. Can you push it? Can you push the level? Can you diversify? Can you switch it up? Can you be more flexible? Can you be more creative? Can you bring more spice? It's definitely something that needs to be done if you want to just maintain that spark in a relationship. I mean, that's- you also have and this is for some folks, not for everybody, but BDSM. BDSM, where you talk about bondage, discipline, dominance, and submission. That's when you get kind of aggressive. Aggressive with agreement. Agreed upon aggression. Everybody's different. Like, exploring kink that allows with your interest and your boundaries. This can bring about like, more passion, more pleasure in the bed. The important thing is to not judge. Like, I don't want us to, and I know women, I don't know if men really have this issue, but I know women have a lot of issues around this. Not BDSM specifically, but just even what we're talking about. So y'all are on here and it's exhibitionist play. Yeah, upskirt, peak in public. Yeah, all of that. Like, so y'all are on here, so you all, I may be preaching, but but there's a number of folks that are not in the space where they're ready or willing to explore. And even if you're open, so here's the piece, even if you're open, and even if you're putting stuff in the chat, the question really is, are you exploring these things in your relationship? That's really the question. Because we can have vivid imaginations. We can type it here, and these are things that we desire to do. But but are we being vulnerable, taking the risk, exposing ourselves, being transparent and being authentically who we are, and inviting our partner to experience it with us. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of us can talk a big talk, talk a big game. Good game. And real talk, some of y'all are on here with your partner, and so you may be dropping hints and just letting you know how expansive my mind is and where I'm trying to go and where I want you to take me. Um, this is the talking part. This is the typing and texting part. But the next level is to really put yourself in a place of vulnerability so that you can experience it, so you can explore it. Let's get it on. Mhm. Yeah, and so, I mean, I appreciate the honesty over here on YouTube. Like, my imagination, absolutely, at the moment, no, but my imagination is top tier. Yeah, and so, I definitely think that right there this fertile ground, the imagination, and, and then being able to find a safe space to experience it is equally as important, and it can actually take it to the next level. So, yeah, you don't want to overlook that. But, is an okay thing. It begins outside the bedroom. But even if it's inside the bedroom, like it can build anticipation, arousal, and enhance the overall pleasure in the experience. And so make sure you're not just trying to hit it and quit it. Make sure you're not trying to go for the gusto. Just go straight there. Make sure there is foreplay that's present. Foreplay, aka the woo. Make sure it's there. This is not just applicable to men, but also to women as well. Right? Women, y'all got to do foreplay too. A lot of times the responsibility rests on men as if foreplay is exclusively, a man's responsibility. And no, like foreplay for us too. Now, when you do the foreplay, follow through. We don't need no alligator. Make sure you follow through. No T-Rex arms. Follow through. You know what I'm saying? Like, just make sure but we want it to be there. It's sexy. It's attractive. It's alluring. It lets me know that you want me. My handcuffs are upset at me because they feel left out. Yeah, committed to us, no false advertising. What's up, Sonny and Lisa? Yeah, we want to make sure that there is foreplay that's present. Erotic massage, y'all. This is another one. Erotic massage. Sometimes even just a simple massage is the pathway to increase pleasure in the bedroom. If your woman is asking you for a massage on her legs, on her thighs, it's like a 95% chance that it's an invitation or it's permission to do a little bit more. I may be wrong, ladies. So we got ladies on here right now. So if she's asking you for a massage on her thighs, I'm saying it's like a 90, I said 99.99%. You know what I'm saying? So like, pay attention, y'all. If she's asking you for a massage on her thighs, that's a window of opportunity. Nope, 100%. Yeah. And peep this too. So if so sometimes time and place matter. I mean, a lot of times it does. So if it's a massage is being requested in the bed, and the request is if the request is to massage the shoulders in the bedroom, a lot of times she won't mind if you move further in the front. If it's to request the shoulders and it's a gradual process, a lot of times she won't mind if you massage the front. She just might not mind. And so back to shoulder 75%, but the thighs 99%. Depending upon how she's sitting, like if she's leaning back on you, yeah. So that massage piece, y'all, that erotic massage and with it, a lot of times can get you places. You got to do some finger exercises, whatever it may be. Strengthen your hands, strengthen your grip. Um, I like that. We took a massage class to learn how to give each other massages. Mhm. Yeah, Kimberly, you gotta come tomorrow night. Again, y'all, virtual love experience tomorrow night. Go to blamexperience.com to register for those who are not a part of the Blamly. For Blamly folks, you can actually find the link inside of Blam University. Sex toys. You know, we did a video the other day. Um, my wife was talking about her wine. But yeah, sex toys are a way to, it could be a path to pleasure too. Don't discount it. Don't, you know, actually enhance the experience for both men and women. Has anybody tried those vibrator things that you can actually put the way your partner can control? Anybody tried that? Yeah. So I'm seeing some yeah, I see a yes over here. Family. That's a pathway, y'all. To let them know, let him know that vibrators, but it definitely works. Like it lets them know it gives you a sense of power. I see over here, I'm not a huge fan. He plays too much. Yeah, I was playing a lot. I was trying to catch her like in mid conversation and stuff like that. She was talking to other people, and she wasn't a fan for that. So, but like stop. But it's fun, y'all. It's fun, and it's a way for y'all to be connected. Um, fantasy. I mean, you got thoughts. A number of y'all are like showing that y'all got good imaginations. Having these conversations with your partner, asking questions, trying to see like what they desire, what they want, what your fantasies are. This is a way to increase the pleasure in the bedroom. It's a path. There's nothing wrong with having these conversations and talking about it, y'all. And that's how you get to know your man or your woman in a different way. These are all different ways. Can y'all think of anything that I have not lifted up that you feel is a pathway? Just having a good conversation. How about that? Having a heart to heart conversation, conversation where we're not distracted by cell phones, um, where there's complete eye contact, or we're close to each other. Our knees may be touching. We encourage couples to like get knee to knee in a conversation. My wife and I, we went out to lunch the other day, and it was a banging conversation that we had, y'all. Um, we was, just we was dreaming together, like just sharing what our desires are, not even in a sexual way, but just like what we want life to look like. And it was real sexy. It really was. It felt very connected, very connected. I see. So yeah. So make sure you don't discount. Like I see real honesty, vulnerability that has nothing to do with sex. Yeah, that's a pathway to pleasure in the bedroom. Cooking his dinner bottomless. Oh yeah, yes indeed. And then when you gotta reach down and get something out the bottom drawer, that'll do it too. That would definitely do it. Oh man. Sonny and Lisa said, hell yeah. Man, oh man. All right, good people. We're gonna put a pin in it right there. This was a good topic tonight. Hopefully, it got some things started. We want you to come out to the virtual love experience tomorrow. Go to blamexperience.com. I love when my wife has her cheeks peeking out. Go to blamexperience.com, y'all. We're gonna be going deeper tomorrow. It's not just gonna be a conversation, it's gonna be on, hands on from the comfort of your home. So again, go to blamexperience.com. It's happening tomorrow night, kicking off at 9 p.m. Eastern. The doors will open up at 8:30. We're gonna have some music playing and kind of get the mood right. And Yeah, go buy your stuff too. Blind, it's a whole list. Once you set it up, it'll be a list of things that you'll get. We're gonna follow up with the Blam. We need to make sure we send that list out to y'all. But yeah, go to blamexperience.com, sign up, and I will see y'all tomorrow. This was a good conversation, y'all. All right, Blamily, peace. All right, YouTube. Go to Blam. Let me type it in here one more time. Blamexperience.com. And I hope to see y'all tomorrow night. All right, y'all. Peace out.